You are now listening to the Highly Evolved Podcast. You can find this channel on Twitter, Gab.ai, BitChute, and Minds.com. This is a Real American Patriot channel for Real American Patriots. If you're not a Real American Patriot, please exit the channel. Furthermore, we are not sponsored by any outside interference. That means we're unscripted, unrehearsed, and unedited. With that being said, transmission will commence momentarily.
How you guys doing? Welcome to the Highly Evolved Podcast. My name is Stefan. You can find me on Minds.com, BitChute, Twitter, and Gab.com. Most important, like, share, and subscribe because we're writing this until the wheel fall off. I don't know, guys. I want to report this news about what happened in the House yesterday. This clearly proved that Democrats don't understand basic economics. All right? When it comes to economics, when it comes to econ and how society works based on economics, Democrats don't have any ideas, have no clue about what to do when it comes to economics. And this article I want to share for you is from the Chicago Sun-Times, right? It's discussed what the House has just done with minimum wage, all right? They have increased it. They just passed this in the House to raise minimum wage to $15 per hour. Now, what they don't understand is that they don't understand that different states have different economies. One state is lower market, one state is higher market. You can't expect a lower market state to keep up with the wage rate as a higher market state. You can't expect state like Mississippi, Wyoming to have the same wages as people in California. All right, this is what they don't understand. This is what they don't understand. They don't understand basic economics. All right, let's read this article. House passed bill to raise minimum wage to $15 an hour. You know, business people are pissed off right now. All right, this is not business friendly. All right, how you expect a small mom and pop shop to pay $15 compared to major conglomerate? And I'm sure major conglomerate aren't happy as paying that much as well too. All right, an increase would boost pay for some 30 million low wage workers. But the bill has a slim chances to pass in the Republican control Senate. Exactly, they're going to have a chance. Mr. McConnell going to block this. All right, the reason why, look, 30 million low wage. This is America, free economy. We're not bound by anything. It's called freedom. If you don't like your wages, you are free to go anywhere else to pay you a competitive wages. You're not bound by a job. What part of that don't people understand? Like, if you don't like your job, you could get up and quit. There's a lot of job right now. The economy is good. It's not during the Obama administration where there's no job out there. All right? You don't like your job. This is a perfect opportunity to find another job and quit to pay you more salary. You don't have to work at McDonald's. McDonald's is not an ideal job. All right? People don't want to work there or retail. Why? If you don't like your position, get out. It's not encouraged to work at McDonald's for the rest of your life. All right? And this is a real common. You're not bound by anything. You could leave your job and find a better paying job. This is what makes America so great. All right. Washington House Democrats approved legislative Thursday to raise the federal minimum wages for the first time in a decade to $15 an hour, showcasing the progress and the challenges of a signature issue of the party ahead of the 2020 election. Look, when they say $15, I keep questioning, why is it $15? Why isn't $20? Why isn't $50? Why do they have to stop at $15? Why is it $100? If more pay is if more pay is what they sought after, why not $50 an hour? Why not $100? They're gonna say, oh, it's unrealistic. If that's unrealistic, what make you think what people who think paying $15 is too much as well? It's unrealistic. All right, the wages is determined by the economy of your states. All right. If the state is a low market state like Mississippi, of course it's going to be lower wages because there's not enough volume to have that much sales. People are living in a lower standards than people in California and New York. Of course, California and New York going to have California like San Francisco are going to have higher wages because of the kind of standard that they're having. All right, it's cheaper to live in Mississippi, Wyoming, and all that state. And they're forcing to pay $15. How's that going to do for businesses? It's going to get rid of businesses, and jobs are going to diminish. The increase would bolster pay for $30 million low-wage worker is intended as one answer to become equality. A longish project of liberals advocates just a few years ago, $15 minimum wage is a standard practice in some leading U.S. corporations, but passage was assured only after certain Democratic reluctant to embrace the party on the left flank won adjustment, including the slower 6 years phases of the wages. It was just the last reminder of the swayed, moderated hold over the party policy decisions. Even though the bill chances in the Republican-controlled Senate are slim, the President Donald Trump is unlikely to sign it into law, and outcoming the important becoming the $15 into the campaign as a new benchmark of debate. Of course, because if you're a businessman, you understand money. Donald Trump is a business person. He understands money. He understands that when you raise $15, it's more likely to lose jobs than it is to make jobs. And people need jobs. All right. What test candidate from the presidential of all wages down the school board said Mary Kay Henry, the president of several employee international union who member cheered passage of the House gallery. They have raised wages, Henry said, to address what they're describing as the equality of the time. What they don't understand is economics. These people are a bunch of people who failed economics. Macroeconomics and microeconomics. These people don't understand that. These are the people that never take economic classes. That's why they're cheering for it. The hike of $7.25 hourly wages has been popped to Democratic campaign promises of what Majority Leader Stephen Hoyer and Maryland called Thursday and the right to do it. I don't understand why. See, the minimum wage should never be established in the first place. The wages should be determined by what company. All right. If you have a job, you pay low wages, you're not going to get employed to go over to work for you. This is why you have to let the market open for itself. If people are not going to go work for you, the employer has to pay more money. Therefore, raising your wages. If you leave it to the free market will work itself out. You don't have the government intervene with all these minimum wages stuff. It don't make any sense. With this minimum wages, it encouraging failing companies to stay in business. We don't need failing companies. We need productive companies where they can offer all these high wages. All right? American workers deserve raises, Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Why don't you give up your salary then? Ridiculous. At the press conferences with labor leader and employee ahead of the voting, lifting a young girl into her arms, Pelosi said, is what it's all about. It's about family. No, it's not. It's about ruining society, eliminating jobs. That's what it is. When you raise wages, it's going to eliminate jobs. The last increase of federal minimum wage occurred 10 years ago, the largest stretch without adjustment since the wages floored for first enacted during the 1930s. The wage protection covered millions of low-wage workers in the type of jobs. Those low-wage workers need to find some other job, all right? If you don't like your wages, you have free to leave to your company and go work for a company that paid you more. Right? Under the House bill, the first-time tipped workers would be required to pay some of the other earnings minimum boasting and their pays to $15 an hour too. It's now 2.13 and is what labor scholars call for a jarring remnants of a legacy of slavery when a newly freed worker received only tips. This is ridiculous. They're making a false equivalency about slave wages. All right? These minimum wages is a way to eliminate business and ruin jobs, right? Government don't create jobs. So this is going to affect the business. All right. When the company aren't making a profit, they're not incentivizing to give you raises, all right? Because you're getting raises already. So this is gonna be backfired. These people don't understand economics, all right? Republican House balked at the wage hike, which would be the first since Democratic last controlled majority. Just the three Republicans joined most Democratic of passage on the 231 and 119 vote. During the floor debate, Representative Ronald Wright, Rex, Texas, called it a disastrous bill. Exactly, I agree with that. Republicans have long maintained that state and municipality are already able to raise the wages beyond the federal minimum and have already done so. Exactly, that's saying the company are willing to raise the wage by itself. They don't need government interventions. Right? Some companies are already raising wages. Why do we need a government intervention to do this? Right? They warn higher wages will cost jobs, especially among small business owners. Exactly. And those small business owners are grown to be business owners, which grown to hire people. If you prevent them from growth by implementing this minimum wage, company will never grow and job will be stagnant. Right? Wage said bill should be remain risen unemployment of American Workers Act. While opponents have long said higher minimum wage lead to job losses, economists said new study caused doubt and a long-held theory. A report of the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office sent a mixed message and said that more than 30 million workers would see bigger paycheck and higher wages, lifting more than 1 million workers out of poverty, and also between 1 million and 3 million job costs to be lost. Now, who's in charge of the Congressional Budget Office? The Democrats. All right, so who to say whether the Congressional Budget Office are really biased or unbiased? Because Democrat control the Congressional Budget Office. All right, Democrat control the House, so they control the Congressional Budget Office. How do we know there's a study that the statistics aren't biased? At the time of the wages stagnation of grave income equality that playing out of the campaign trail, Democratic lead by Representative Bobby Scott of Democrat Virginia and chairman of the House Education and Labor Committee are willing to accept that trade-off. Oh my God, these people are stupid. Except for trade-off, you accept people losing their jobs. But swift passage earlier this year into a trouble when centrists and those Democrats from rural region of the southern state raised concern. They should be. The new Democratic majority is often as pushing the House leftward. Many of the freshmen are actually moderate from district won by Trump in 2016. Those are very fresh. Men will face some of the toughest re-election in 2020. I hope they lose their seats. The moderated Blue Dog Coalition, led by Representative Stephanie Murphy, Democrat of Florida, obviously, advocated by Changes Wage Bill, which some 24 members our caucus has enough votes to deny Pelosi majority and sink the legislative. This legislative is not good, guys. They want a long phases of 6 years instead of 5, and they include amendment requirement for report of the General Accountability Office after the first phases of wages hike and the assess of economic impact and jobs, whether the wage should be fully raised to 15. I have always been a believer compromise of not dirty words, Murphy said in an interview. It helps us to get things done. Most members of the Blue Dog, another centrist caucus in the Democratic coalition, end up voting for the bill. They also held a line against the Republican alternative, which is not to do this race. Progressive or labor? Progressive is communist. Let's say that. Progressive is regressive. Labor leader said they could live with the changes. Representative Mike Pecan, was Democrat, live with the changes, but can the people live with it? Co-chairman of the Congressional Progressive Caucuses said the bill is popular back home, far from Trump's characterization of Democratic as a social. Of course, they are socialists. What are you talking about? The idea of $50 minimum wage, somehow that is out of the mainstream thought. He said, of course not. Advocate who's been trying to boost the wages for workers for years and said they were stunned on how quickly the debates shifted. Sarah Jarayaman, president of the Restaurant Opportunity Center Union Group, founded that the displaced worker from the World Trade Center September 11 terror attack, said boasting the tip wages is particularly a waiter of other tip worker was a milestone. It's a historic moment and historic bill, she said. Once they start raising the wages of hard to go back. This is from the Chicago Sun-Times. Chicago is a fake news as well. They're fake news. But I just want to read you the story. And this is, you got to read between the BS right here in this article. You got to read between the BS. This is not good for the economy, especially if you're a small business owner, an entrepreneur, or have to hire people. This is not good for restaurants. Why would a restaurant who have a tough time as it is pay their employee $15 an hour? All right. If they had to do that, then you know what's gonna happen? They don't have to pay tips. All right. Most restaurant workers work on tip. When they work on tip, most likely they make an average of more money than they would working on minimum wage. All right. When you work on minimum wage, the restaurant have to cut hours. They don't have enough people coming in. All right. Which means if you have to raise the minimum wage, that means you have to raise the prices for a restaurant and food. When the price is expensive, people don't want to eat out no more. Hence, therefore, losing business for the restaurant, and they have to shut down. Then you lose your job. See the chain reaction? You see how the chain effect of this going? You see how it works? Democrats don't understand basic economics. All right? When you raise wages, you raise prices. When you raise prices, it affects people's desire to eat out. All right? And buy. When you do that, when they don't have businesses, restaurants forced to lay off people. If they're forced to lay off people, they're forced to, and business don't pick up, they're forced to close down. Not just only restaurant business, any small business out there. The majority small businesses are open is basically small restaurants. Those are the most small businesses open right now. All right? So this clearly, by passing this bill, clearly proved Democrats don't have no idea of how economics work. They're so appealing to their emotions, they don't have any common rationality. All right? These leftist Democrats, this is for the agenda. They try pander for votes. This is what it is. It's not for doing the right thing. The right thing is get rid of minimum wage, period. If you get rid of minimum wage, period, the market will work for itself. All right? If you get minimum wage, company will force to lower down the prices, and people come, then forced to hire more people, then whoever worked the best get the raises. All right? These people don't understand basic economics, but because of what I'm reporting, YouTube don't want to monetize my channel. All right? Because I'm unscripted, unrehearsed, unedited. If you like what I do, please like, share, subscribe. Because when you like, share, subscribe, it encourages me to make more videos. All right? When I make more videos, I saturate YouTube algorithm. When I saturate YouTube algorithm, it make my video more expansive to a broader audience. Within those audience, I might get them to think for themselves. That's the point of this channel, to think for themselves. All right? Because group thinking is very detrimental to society. Group thinking is communism, Marxism, socialism, Democrats, Black Lives Matter, Antifa. Those are group thinkers. All right? Venezuela, North Korea, those are group thinkers. All right? And they affect people's life. That's why I find it more of an incentive to get you to think for yourself, because you're not affecting my life, than take donation. I'm not taking any donation for this channel. All right, guys? Because there's enough incentive for me for you to make you think for yourself, because you're not classified as a group thinker, therefore making all these policy that affects me. All right? But let me know what you think. You think the Democrats don't know nothing about economics? You think they're clueless about how money works? You think these people are liars? You think these people have any ideas? Let me know what you think. Leave your comment below. Thanks for listening to Highly Evolved Podcast. My name is Stefan. I know your time is very precious. I'm not trying to waste your time. And you guys have a good day. Peace.